Welcome to episode 30 of On Our Bike, where we visited the Kauri and Dargaville Museums. The junior editor's being a bit of a pain today. He's directing me on what I should be filming and not filming. The weather has been variable, I suppose I'd say. We've had a couple of really heavy showers. The wind has been deceiving in here. The wind has been howling, and we thought we'd call into the Kauri Museum and have a look at that. We've never been here before. So, what? Oh yeah. And
why not?
okay.
So we've ventured into the Kauri Museum. Kauri Museum is probably a better word for it. So this is the first part as we wander through. It's pretty cool.
Light filled the world.
And light filled the world according to the legends. So now we're in the next room. And this has all sorts of bits of Kauri tree. And that looks like one that was split down the middle, which is just huge. And yeah, pretty sweet. They did all this when men were men. There was no such thing as being a boy. So the sign said, feel free to try on the clothes and sit on the furniture. So what's she done? Sat on the furniture. And that's okay, gives me a chance to video some more. Yeah. So here's this massive Kauri boardroom table that they'd have to take a bank loan out, I reckon, to 1977 to 1986 was the first house for it. Oh, there I am. G'day everybody. They made a lot of stuff out of Kauri. And then there's a Kauri snail made out of Kauri wood. Well, there are way too many things to look at in here. Stay tuned as we go upstairs to where there's a lot of photos. Well, upstairs, and we're in the history in a bottle room. And we're learning about old bottles. And Donna said, look at the bottles with the little dots on. And I said, that's because they contained poisons. She then said, that's a load of rubbish. And I said, go and read the piece of paper and that will explain what was in the bottles with the little dots. And the raised dots were for the visually impaired so that they could tell it was a bottle of poison. So they call this the steam room. It's all working engines that they used to use in the logging. Very impressive. And as we keep going round more corners, we have more stuff and all the old stationary engines. Old milking machine display. It's cool. Cutting roof shingles. A good old thunderbox. More stationary engines. And then New Zealand. I only popped in to get out of the rain and we've been here for 2 hours. Got stuff in here I've never seen before in my life. The name on the wall says it all. Look at the size of those engine pots. Got my finger in it. So in the steam house, and this little number here is, I saw it written somewhere, cutting swamp Kauri, and it's a vertical breakdown saw. And then there's this beautifully carved stump of a kauri tree. Not too sure what it is, but dragged out of the swamp. Looks like a chair for kids. Bandsaw, a little bit bigger than the one I had at work, but sure, it's a hell of a lot better than the one I had at work. A planer. And yet another wall of chainsaws. I've never seen so many chainsaws displayed as what I have in this trip to New Zealand. And I have this awesome old steam traction engine inside the shed, running, not on steam, but it's powering. I don't know if it's going to show up on the video, but over there straight ahead is a circular saw which it's running, and all the other belt driven bits of gear I've got in here. And then down here is a Caledonian steam engine, which is also ticking over. 1898 bandsaw sharpener. The biggest chainsaw over there I've ever seen in my life. Must have a blade on it about 10 foot long. Then we commence our tribute to the chainsaw. And I don't even reckon I could pick up one end of these chainsaws. Oh, here's a bigger one. Be at least 3 meters long. Oh, those motors must weigh a ton. They're huge.
Look at this one down here, which is like a double-handed one. That one.
You're going to have to make a video just on its own about this place. I only hope the videos do it justice, that's for sure. Yeah, probably can't appreciate the size of that log, but it's got to be at least 3 meters high at the smallest. This one's only about 1 meter. Tools, traction engines, log splitters, then you come into this room And the machinery in here. (1917). Vertical breaking down saw. Can cut up to 6 foot diameter. Here's a little bit of a story about that log I showed earlier at the start of the video. It's cut down in 1960 and it was germinated in 1100. So this thing here is a bush whim. It was made in 1912 for hauling logs by a local farmer. Could pull 20 tonne for 1.6 mile before they'd have to reposition it. We thought it was a giant's hammer.
Driving dams were built to move logs from steep hill country down towards the coast. And nowhere else in the world was that done in quite this way.
So off we go, we walk into another room and there's all these replicas. So this one's a nursery. Lounge room. Bride getting ready. But the furniture in these rooms is absolutely amazing. Kitchen. I'm guessing this is a sewing room.
Laundry as well.
Laundry. And we just go into this room here. It's a bit dark, but anyway, here we are in another room. We're learning about gum, and we've got this big, awesome cabinet made out of Kauri, and inside is what we believe to be polished gum. So then we went into the main gum room. We've got the gum everywhere. Have to do a bit of research on gum when we get home. Seems quite fascinating. So this afternoon I decided to take the journey up the hill and go to the Dargaville Museum. Just followed the signs through town, past this quaint little old cemetery. On my right hand side, still looking for the entrance, and lo and behold, there it is. So up the hill we went. It was a quite scenic ride up to the top of the hill, not really knowing what I was going to find at the top. And what I found was a machinery museum which wasn't open today, which was a bit of a bugger. I had seen signs for it earlier, and I'm sure it would be the same as all the other machinery museums around the place, but when you see them, you've got to go and have a look. So up the hill, still going a bit further, and then all of a sudden I get to the building on the right, which is the museum, and it looks like Muriel's been here and done some mighty fine scenery of the local town and the history. And when I looked over to the left and to the right at the end of the building, I would have to say it's the best real estate in Dargaville. So inside the museum, and we have these glass display cabinets full of stuff. Old kitchenwares, fridges, washing machines in immaculate condition. Looks like a chemist. What the doctors would have looked like. Come around here to an old washing machine. Huge big slabs of kauri going up to the roof. Amazing furniture. You just got to wonder where they get all the furniture from and how they made it all those years ago. They were so much smarter than what we can do now, is my own personal belief. So in Dargaville, it was a very Croatian town, and they came here from Croatia to mine gum, which in its own is fascinating. So a big section of the museum is dedicated to the gum diggers that came here from Croatia. So just in front of me is a gum washer, and then they have this magnificent fence full of shovels that were obviously used by early Croatians. It has the name of each person whose shovel it was, and I guess this is a bit of a layout of how they used to work on the gum. And on this wall here, we've got display cabinets full of polished gum. And it is very, very interesting. Done a fantastic job. So here we've got obviously replicas of the little shanties that the gum diggers used to live in. Tough life. Go into another room. Cameras. Bottles. Clocks. Shells. Awesome train set. Trains on the walls. Saddles. There's more back there. Then we go into the maritime section, because Dargaville is on a river, and I'm guessing most of this stuff was found here or off the coast from here. Model ships, small model boats, seahorses. And this cabinet down here. I don't see too many of them anymore. So I ventured into another room, and this one is full of musical instruments, mainly piano accordions. Unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen so many in my life. And there's some pretty nice looking ones. It's also little dolls, Croatian clothing, an organ, more beautiful piano accordions, and other strange instruments. So here we have some kitchen scales, and one of the most amazing things that I think I've ever seen in a museum, and I'm not too sure whether you're going to be able to pick up on what this is, but it's a collection of sewing thimbles. Who would have thought that such a thing existed? Everyone's different. Some are beautifully crafted, hand painted. Amazing.